Hello everyone, I'm Pragati Sureka, the author of Musings, An Insight into Me. Do you struggle but you don't know why? Do you have vision but you don't know how to turn it into reality? Do you have dreams that are just waiting to be manifested? If you are, then don't worry. Realize how the power of your emotions can help you transcend all your difficulties, your challenges, and give you motivational wings with your emotions. To know more, join me for my session on emotional intelligence coaching. Today I have the privilege to do a fireside chat with amazing entrepreneurial young women who can reach the zenith of their potential because they have taken the first step of growing their business and ensuring that they reach the pinnacle of success. Have a great day. How do you express your emotions? By getting really annoyed? By reacting badly and then regretting later on? Let's say someone has yelled at you and before you know it, you've yelled back. Happens on a daily basis, right? Maybe with a spouse, with parents, with children. Not at the workplace so much, but once in a while, before a meeting, it's happened, right? Why does that happen? For a simple fact that we don't give wings to our emotions. We keep suppressing our emotions. We try and be Miss Goody Two Shoes or Mr. Perfect Gentleman. But lo, before a big presentation or when you're leaving for a party, you just snap. The whistle blows. So if you don't want that to happen to you, if you want your work-life balance to remain intact, do yoga, do meditation, do journaling. But all these endeavors will only stick if you take care of being emotionally intelligent about your life and understanding that your emotions are just signals. They need vent. So if you went out at the right time, all the endeavors that you do for your physical and mental well-being will grow and help you be successful in life. If not, it becomes a hit and miss situation. So without much ado, enroll for a session on emotional intelligence coaching or pick up a book on how to handle your emotions and take an insight into yourself. Have a great day. Hello everyone, I'm Pragati Sureka, a clinical psychologist, super excited to do a session on emotional intelligence coaching with a group of lovely women entrepreneurs in Mumbai. So are you somebody who often doubts herself or himself? Do you think that what you think is really not up to the mark? Does that happen with you ever? That you feel that? Or do you feel, oh, I know it all, whatever happens, I'm going to achieve my dreams and success? With most of us, what happens is we tend to yo-yo. We either feel really good about ourselves or we doubt ourselves too much. Neither of us helps us in most situations. Not that we don't know the key to balance, of course we do it. That's intrinsically wired into our survival skills. So we of course learn to seesaw, we learn to balance things, but sometimes we feel really, really depleted. So today when we talk about emotional intelligence coaching, and I thank Amrita Sani for inviting me over today because marketing with a purpose always aims to help women fly higher. So over to you, Amrita.
Hi Pragati, thank you so much for coming over and giving us this wonderful session. We have Ami with us, we have Christina and we have Pooja today. They are all women entrepreneurs and we want to help them to grow their business and to reach higher and higher in life.
Thank you. Ladies, it's just going to be a lot of fun to talk about little things about emotions. Today what I have seen in my last 15 years of practice, that emotions is something that most of us struggle a little bit with. Because what we tend to do is we like certain emotions, like joy, happiness, and we are very happy about it. But when we are disgusted, angry, or sad, we tend to go into our shells. Does that happen with you? Do you feel that?
Yes, definitely.
So Pooja, do you want to share something about what is your journey with your own emotions? What do you feel?
So as you said, there's ups and downs. There are days when you're very happy and very thrilled about what you've achieved. And just like that, you feel very low. So as you said, to keep the correct balance is quite tricky, especially if you have kids, you have responsibility, and on top of that, you're trying to make a name at your work, it gets very, very tough to balance everything together, you know. So,
yeah, actually, what you rightly said, and it's not that we doubt ourselves. Now, tell me one thing, Christina, if you had to do 2 plus 2, how much is it? Would you doubt yourself before answering me?
It's easier when you know the answer, right?
True.
I have a small baby who is 3 years old, and if you ask her what 2 plus 2 is, she won't know.
Yes.
But for us, it's easier when you know. And the same thing, I think, with your emotions. If there is certain emotion that keeps troubling you, and you know how to deal with it, then you are better equipped to deal with it.
Perfect.
And when something unfamiliar comes along, or something happens that you don't know, that's when I think people face a lot of difficulties in handling situations, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's so well put, because very rightly, as you have observed and spoken to all of us here, most of the time we don't know what to do when uncomfortable emotions come out. Usually we don't have a role model. As little children, we could just yell till we were told it's not okay to yell, right? If you didn't get what you wanted. So the whole point is, as adults, why we struggle with emotions. I'm not saying any of us here are struggling, but if you are, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. But most of us are very uncomfortable discussing emotions. We don't know how much is too much. We don't know how much is too little. Most of the time, that balance is something which leaves us a little confused. What is your opinion, Amrita, about emotions?
Emotions for me also is sometimes extremely difficult to handle. I mean, I'm going to say it because sometimes, of course, I feel very happy. Like when I just moved to Bombay, I came from Calcutta, where I knew everybody in Calcutta. It was familiar. I was like going to the clubs. I had my business. I had my family. And now suddenly I came to Bombay, where I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a single parent in school. In Calcutta, I knew every parent in my children's class. I knew all my neighbors, I had everybody around me, but suddenly I felt a little lost, a little lonely. I was like, okay, what am I doing here? I started doubting myself a bit. But over time, of course, I've made wonderful friends here, and I can't be happier to be in Bombay. And of course, Calcutta is always home. But yes, it was difficult. The emotions were very difficult to handle. I would love to go back and to meet everybody, but now I'm really happy to be here as well. So that's been my take on emotions in the last 3-4 years.
Actually, that's a very pertinent point that you've spoken about. When we start handling our emotions, or we feel we can cope up wherever we are, whether it's an unfamiliar situation. Now, you've had a move for good reasons. Some people have to move for reasons which they are not very comfortable with, but it happens, That's the time when we struggle with our emotions. How about you, Ami? What has your journey with emotions been like up till now?
So it's very strange that over years my personality changed a lot, from a very confident person to a person who doubted herself or went through emotions which I didn't know how to deal with. If you had to go by the book, we all know what is right, what is wrong, how you should be dealing with it, but when you're actually in that situation, sometimes everything just goes out of the window. But at the same time, if you have to advise somebody, it comes very naturally to you. So, yeah, like there are conflicts in your mind when it comes to your work, when it comes to your work-life balance. And you always, I do struggle that whether I'm going to do justice to both. So while I've been trying hard, there are days when I've just been very successful. There are days I've failed big time, and then it comes out in different ways. Like either it's like an aggression, it's yelling at your children, or just feeling upset and not then creating a good atmosphere around you. And we all know that your environment is a reflection of you. So as much as we are aware, we do struggle with it on daily basis. So I guess that's what I feel you're going to help us with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's very well put, See, the more honest we are, you brought out a very pertinent point. If we realize that my emotion, let's say of anger, which is reflected in yelling, is counterproductive to my relationship with my child, you actually start addressing the issue. Most of us, why we struggle with emotions is we don't even want to look behind the reason. It's not that you are yelling at your child. Today when we talk about emotional intelligence, it's about just realizing that, look, every emotion is telling us something. You are yelling because you are angry. You are expecting a particular behavior which is not getting done. Now, why is that behavior there? That behavior is there essentially because you can see scope for growth. You can see scope for responsibility which the child is not hoping to display. So here, if you addressed, ki, yeah, I am yelling. So what is it that you're actually telling your emotion? That yes, I want my child to move in a particular direction, but my way of communicating, which is yelling, is counterproductive. So can I look at option B or C? Option B could be, can I have a fireside chat? The